Okay, so hey there guys, how's it going? This is Rexford here, and welcome to the very first update on Hero Shadow Episode 2. So, I say it's the first update because of the fact that the other updates weren't necessarily updates, like for the custom rig stuff, and although the rigs are going to be going into characters that are going to be in the series itself, they're not necessarily, like, updates. So, basically what I'm going to try to do is over the course of however long it takes to actually make this whole episode thing here, I want to kind of keep this update log, and I want to keep it frequent, and whenever there's any changes that I feel I want to show that are, enough changes to actually be able to show them off, I want to go ahead and do so. So, we might get a huge update log, we might get a small update log, we might get a medium update log, however long it takes me to finish this thing, and however many, big changes go on, that's how long this thing's going to go. So, basically, there isn't too much to show today because I basically, as some of you may or may not know, I'm restarting the whole entire series from scratch. Like, I basically got rid of the very first thing, like all the characters and stuff, and all the props, and I'm basically redoing this whole series for episode 2 because there was a lot more I learned than, from the first series or whatnot. So, I want to go ahead and just redo everything, get a fresh start, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, today, what I'm going to show you guys is basically this thing right here. Excuse me, this is basically going to be a room you're not going to see too frequently, but somewhat frequently. It's basically going to be the room where important meetings and such are held. And I don't know if you guys can really get a feel that much for the size right now, but this is going to be a very big room. This window right here is actually a really tall window, and if I were to actually plop a character in here, let me go ahead and do so now. Let me actually give you guys an example of, excuse me, just how big this room is. Let's see, let's get, as you guys can see, there's definitely a huge improvement in the character count as well. There's a lot more characters than I've showed off. Let's gonna get Sasune. I still haven't decided on her name either, what's gonna be Sasune or Sasunai, something like that. But, we'll see. So, we'll shrink her down a little bit. Just a little bit to get her down to size, and let's render that. And, nah. Just a little smaller. There we go. So, actually, let me see here. Put her in a different view and let's see how that looks. Okay, so, kind of. Nah, it's just still a little bit too big. She's still a bit too big. Bring her down like here. There we go. That's around the size that's going to be. And of course, it's not really going to be all zoomed out like this at all times. You're going to get like up close shots and whatnot. But that's just an example of how big this room actually is going to be. It might be a little, she could be a little smaller in the room. Could be a little bit bigger. But that's just an idea of how huge of a space we're dealing with here. And because this is so big, and this is just part of a building, you can only imagine how big the village itself is actually going to be. Like, we're talking really big improvements on this episode, guys. And the reason that, like, this is probably going to take a little longer to get out than, like, future episodes, because I'm basically remaking everything that I had before, but to a bigger, better looking scale. I mean, if I go to the characters here, so I showed you guys that little room, and these are just some of the characters that I've worked on and redone here. And as you guys can see, this is my character file with like all the characters that I've created. So, and there's more characters in this too. There's actually 2 village guards I'm working on, but this is what I have going on so far. So let me go and render this again so you guys can get a better look. And I guess we can actually zoom in. That'd probably help a little bit. And I don't want to show any other characters for now, even though they are done. I basically want to keep him kind of more surprise, I guess. And you guys will see all of them too as well when you guys watch the second episode. But this is kind of a better look at all the different characters. As you can see, from episode 1 to this episode, like compared to like the styles, these are a lot more stylized. They have a lot more detail. Excuse me, they look a lot better, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm really trying to make sure that everything is definitely a huge step up from like the last thing or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this up here. But just with a few words that I want to tell you guys before I let you go. Basically, with all these characters, some of you guys might be wondering, you said they're going to be stylized a lot more, but they don't really look too. I mean, they look better, yeah, but you probably could do more to them. And just because it's like only myself working on this, like animation and design wise, I don't really want to put a whole lot into it, like my max amount that I could do, because then I'd have to get that out of it as well. So I'd have to like work with that, and it just takes so much more longer because it's actually going to be like a whole season based series. Like I'm planning to do a lot of episodes, like possibly 100 or more episodes of this. We'll see how that goes. Um, I want to make sure that I have, like, what I'm working with, I'm able to work with quickly enough to get episodes out. So, anyway, I know the music's gone now, so it's probably getting kind of boring just hearing me talk without any background audio. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. There will be more updates on the way as well, the more that I kind of get stuff done and get stuff working and just stuff like that. So, until then, I guess this has been Rex Furry, and there will be more gamer tutorials and stuff coming out as well for those of you guys wondering where those are. And, yeah, so until the next video, guys, until next time, this, again, has been Rex Furry, and, as always, I'll see you all next video.